Welcome everyone to a very special cross episode between Zenime and myself, MrNiesGuy of Loading Screen. The 20 must-watch anime on Hulu. Now for many of you, Hulu may be the first or only way you have to watch anime. So me and Zen came together to make our own top 10s and decided to combine them to make what we're not saying is the end-all be-all best, but think of it as a starting off point. In short, this is our thoughts, our tastes, that's all it's required, that's all I'm gonna say, so let's do this. Ouran High School Host Club. Only those with excellent social standing and those from filthy rich families are lucky enough to spend their time here at the elite private school Ouran Academy. The Ouran Host Club is where school's most handsomest boys with too much time on their hands entertain young ladies who also have too much time on their hands. Just think of it as the Ouran Academy's elegant playground for the super rich and beautiful. In short, my dear viewers, if you're looking for a comedic reverse harem, then look no further, and let's enjoy some Commodore's coffee together. My love story. Gura is a massive high schooler. The only thing bigger than him is his heart. Although he has never had luck when it comes to love, because most women he comes across are interested in his best friend, who is your typical shoujo lead. But one day, he steps up and saves a girl named Yamato from a creep on a train and finally does his love story begin. This is a show that really doesn't have major conflict or plots now that I think about it, but if you need something that will just warm your heart, this is the best show for you. Angel Beats. Welcome to Purgatory, ladies and gentlemen. Our lead wakes up in the middle of a battle between the organization called the SSS and an angel. With no memory of anything outside of his last name, the story centers around him trying to remember who he is and also learning about the world he now lives in. And you will learn and feel many things from this show. But the one thing you'll learn for sure is to never say goodbye, because saying goodbye means to go away, and going away means to forget. Kids on the Slope. A coming-of-age tale, our lead has moved constantly since he was a child due to his father's career. This leads to him being the outcast, the loner, and the newest school was no exception. With the school treating him like the outsider that he is, only 2 students seem not to mind this, and they quickly realize they all had a passion for jazz. Through friendship and frustration, through love and despair, he will learn that life has a wealth of experience in store for him. In short, if you love music, but more importantly, love playing with your friends, this is a show for you. Toradora. When a high school boy and girl hate each other, but at the same time are both infatuated with each other's best friend, they reluctantly decide to help each other out to get each other with their crush. But what they'll slowly realize is that they no longer want to be with the person they were going after, but are already happy with the person that's already with them. Now I'll admit the show does sound generic, but this idea is rarely done to this quality. The show can make you laugh, can make you cry, can make you feel, can make you hate. The best compliment I can give this show is it's the most generic sounding anime you're gonna fall in love with. Your Lie in April. We follow a former child prodigy who lost his ability to play the piano when his mother died. His life now has become monochrome, but it begins to gain color again when one day he meets a free-spirited violinist one April afternoon. And this is where, after years of stalemate, his life finally begins to move forward. Everything about this show, in my eyes, for what it was trying to do, is a masterpiece. And the ending, well, let's just say there isn't one single episode of any anime more powerful to me than the final episode of that show. Try it for yourself and tell me what you feel. Serial Experiments Lane. I have only abandoned my body. I still live here. The words emailed to Lane by a friend several days after her suicide. As Lane dives deeper into the world of the Wired, the line between it and reality becomes more and more unclear as nothing truly appears as it seems. For a work that came out in 1998, this is a work that's more relevant now than it's ever been. A warning of what happens when the digital and real world begin to blur. It's almost like this work was trying to warn us about our present day and our technological dependence. Samurai Champloo. Samurai Champloo is all about style, from the DJ style scratching scene changes to the hip-hop inspired soundtrack to the character designs themselves. 2 warriors, who are the embodiment of water and fire, are forced to work together to help a girl find a samurai who smells of sunflowers. And together they travel through Edo-era Japan, finding conflict and comedy wherever they stop. This isn't a story about getting from point A to B, it's about the road to get there. This is one of the few times I say take your time and savor this anime, because it's truly one of a kind. Bakano. Don't let nobody tell there's no future in life of crime, because some rackets can't last forever. But we'll get around to all that immortality jazz later. The Mafia turf wars raging on the mean streets of the Big Apple. A place where regular Joe's bounce between the booze joints and the bread line. Let's keep right about the simple gangland brawl. It's about the hoods who can't seem to die properly after catching a bullet or five between the eyes. Sadistic hitman, the dames they love. Mad bombers going boom, monsters going bump, and the soul slug alchemist bootlegging an elixir of eternal life. Just remember, Bakano ain't about the beginnings to the ends, but the twists and turns, bub. Paths don't cross in the story, they collide. Every Dick and Jane plays a lead, and it's gonna be a bumpy ride. Hellsing Ultimate. Vampires taking on Nazis in a full-scale war. How are you not intrigued by that? This is a show that took the best parts of an action anime with the elements of a supernatural horror and combined them to make by what is no means a perfect show. But the fact that I can say it's a full-scale war between Nazis, the Vatican Church, vampires, and other supernatural beings that use London as their battleground should be more than enough to pique your interest. Death Note. Have you ever felt the world would be a better place if certain people weren't around? One fateful day, Light finds that this daydream can become reality. He comes across a black notebook entitled Death Note, whose text within states that whoever's name is written in here will die. Light takes it upon himself to rid the world of corruption, ushering a new era of purity one death at a time. But Light's actions will not go unchallenged. I really don't need to say more about this show because for many of you, this is your first taste of anime outside of a shonen, and it has already been praised to death. I did it funny. Clannad. Look, I'm just gonna say this because my thoughts honestly could not be explained in this short of time. There are a select few shows that many people have trouble explaining the impact that work left on them. Some use words like therapeutic or euphoric, but for me, I'm gonna go with heavenly, because this is a work that rarely comes along, and when it's done, the impact this show will leave on you will never leave your heart or your memories as long as you live. It will rock you to your core. And if that doesn't convince you, I don't know, that's all I gotta say about that. Ghost in the Shell, Standalone Complex. For those who are fans of both great science fiction and great storytelling, you're only hurting yourself for not have seen this show yet. A series that has aged beautifully over the last decade, it's a very impressive work that knows its fundamentals and plays to its strengths. This is a thinking viewer's anime, with great moments of action and just the perfect pinch of humor. You'll be hooked from the opening scene and left wanting more by the time the ending fades to black. And maybe it's still a little too young to call it this, but this is a classic you can't afford to miss. Spice and Wolf. It's weird how shows like this, Mushishi, and others on paper can sound so dull, because if I had to summarize the show, it's about medieval economic trading with a fox girl, but I think it's amazing how they can do so much with so little. It has an amazing backdrop, solid character performances, and the best dialogue I've heard in almost any anime. And when the majority of your show is just your two main characters talking with each other, this is one of the few anime that sounds so real, but when you look at it, I can't offer you much more in terms of traditional fantasy. Mushishi. One of the more artistic anime you could be so kind to treat yourself to, it isn't unusual for you to feel that the world around you is strange and has unexplainable things. But we'll also just pass off this idea, this entire anime is centered around that pondering. A work for the soul, with amazing atmosphere offering both wisdom and life lessons to its viewers. This anime may not be for everyone due to its slow pacing, lack of action, but if you're looking for a calming show that's both episodic and the best way to unwind after a long day, then look no further. Fate Zero. Here, 7 of history's greatest warriors fight for 7 masters in a battle royale for the Holy Grail. The ultimate wish-granting device that with it, you might as well be a god. Or a devil if you please. The animation, the soundtrack, the characters, the fighting are some of the best to have come out of Japan in a long time. I really have nothing else to say other than that if you're a big fan of action and fantasy, you deserve it to yourself to enjoy this spectacle before you. Gurren Lagann. This is a story of a man who is yet to realize his destiny. Zimon, Kamina, and their friends bow to the surface of the earth to fight for freedom long forgotten by humanity. Upon finding a mech underground, and stealing another from the very enemy they face, they combine their strengths to form the mighty Gurren Lagann, and take back the earth from the Beastmen. A show that will teach you not to believe in the you who believes in me, not the me who believes in you, but believe in the you who believes in yourself. Kick reason to the curb, do the impossible, see the invisible, touch the untouchable, break the unbreakable, pierce the heavens!
Row, row, fight the power!
Steins Gate. If you relish the idea of a gripping and thought-provoking show set against a mysterious and ominous backdrop and spiced with humor and emotional moments, this is a show that was made for you. It's highly thought-provoking with one of the best anime openings of all time, and in my opinion, this is one of the best uses of time travel you're ever gonna see. Simply put it, you cannot go wrong with Steins Gate. Aria. Aria is about the little things in life that often go overlooked. In particular, the small things in life that often make it worth living, and taken together, can help us find happiness. The optimistic worldview of this anime will make even the greatest cynic rethink if humanity is truly doomed. After all, if someone can dream that humanity can reach these heights of a near utopian future on Mars with a feel of Venice, Italy, with strong characters and a meditative soundtrack, then that proves that there are positive outlooks on the future outside of just war and pain. Give it a try. You deserve a smile. And finally, Cowboy Bebop. For the record, when Zenime and myself were throwing out shows for this list, this was the first thing we both said. This is a story of an ex-cop, a gypsy, a child genius, and a man who always has one eye to the past and one to the future. And together, they are the bounty hunter crew of the Bebop. And we follow them on their journey to see what many will argue is the greatest anime of all time. Myself, I will not say that because if I did, there's no point to keep watching anime. But I have to admit, I rarely can find a show that for what it's trying to be is so perfect. The music, the characters, the animation, especially for the time, the ending, and the revelations. Try it out the first chance you get, and when it's all said and done, you're gonna carry that weight. And that's gonna do it for us. Now, like I said, we only had 20 spots, so we couldn't put everything that was good onto this video. So that's why we're gonna ask for your help. If there's a show that was not on here that people should watch that's on Hulu, write in the comments below and tell people why. And if you're watching this on my channel, be sure to check out Zen on his. He does a lot of countdown lists on there that if you haven't seen them yet, check them out, they're actually all really good. And if you're watching this on Zen's channel, check me out if you want. I do my 5 lists and whatever I really feel like doing that week. And that's gonna do it for us. My name is MrNiesGuy for the loading screen. As always, never turn the power on the loading screen, and until I see you again, have a nice day.